Hello, hello, good evening, everybody. Bonjour, bonsoir. It depends where you guys are watching us from. Welcome again to Umoja Global Network. I am Coach Janine, and also Dr. Lovella is with me today. I'm very, very excited because today is day three. Day three that we started the 21 days with this wonderful, powerful book about the confession of a Black woman. So we already started chapter one. I hope many of you guys were able, you started with us from day one, and today is day three. So I hope you've been blessed, you've been taking notes. And if not, it's not too late. You can start tonight because Dr. Lovella is really, she's really dropping some amazing gems, amazing nuggets. So you can be able to pick it up. But I hope you also already went to her website and purchased the book because we really want you to really join the movement. Okay. Welcome again, Dr. Lovera. How are you tonight?
Doing good. Thank you so much again for having me on tonight. Excited about what day three. We're excited about day
Yeah.
three, how we are moving
Mm-hmm.
and processing, and we are on the third day of the journey of the Black woman's confession, the transformational journey. And for those that are joining us on tonight, please get a friend, share the link, tag someone, and if you could just invest about 30 minutes of your time, I promise you, this is going to bless you. Day one, we was off to talking about the mask, the layers of the mask, and then day two, we talked about the consequences of the mask, and now day three, we are going to talk about finding it, your voice, finding your voice. Janine, did you want to say anything in French before we go forward?
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Merci beaucoup encore de se joindre à nous encore aujourd'hui avec Umoja Global Network. Nous sommes avec notre invité d'honneur, Dr. Lovella. Aujourd'hui, c'est le troisième jour, donc nous sommes vraiment dans la joie. Et elle est en train de parler de son livre qui est intitulé La confession d'une femme noire. Donc, en tout cas, elle a décortiqué beaucoup, beaucoup de sujets. Et aujourd'hui, nous sommes sur le chapitre 1 et nous allons parler aujourd'hui de comment retrouver sa voix. Donc, c'est vraiment de la joie de voir comment est-ce que le Seigneur nous enseigne encore aujourd'hui. C'est le troisième jour et j'aimerais que tu puisses encore prendre le temps d'écrire et puis surtout d'écouter. N'hésitez pas de mettre, si vous avez des questions, en tout cas, n'hésitez pas de communiquer cela comme ça. Nous allons aussi vous répondre en même temps.
Thank you so much for that. And so, Dr. Janine, what was your takeaway from day one and day two for those that are tuning in, and for those that are they're returning? Again, for those that are watching the replays, type hashtag replay. And for those that are with us on tonight, I'm telling you, we are excited. This is a 21-day journey as we are discussing or having live discussion about my newest book called The Confession of a Black Woman. And so you're going to know the whys and the benefits of, and how to reclaim your life, and how to identify obstacles and challenges that will try to hinder or prevent or stop one from becoming their fullest potential. And so, Dr. Judy, what was your takeaway thus so far before we dive in into day three?
Yes, so from day one until yesterday, I was really, I even like your subtitle, which it says self-discovery. So this is really a journey. Like
Mm.
I really found myself also listening to you, and just like everything that you were saying was just like a pop up in my head. It's like, oh, I never see it that way. So there was a lot of things that, like, for example, like the invisible wall. That was something that I really learned that I really realized that many of us have that, being in a different area. Sometimes we don't take time to realize that we actually have, those invisible walls, and how do we deal with that? So that's
Mm.
something that was really a high moment for me. And yesterday, when you were talking about how we can be able to be able to recognize, and you were talking about your own journey, being from the island. You definitely gave us, sometimes we forget who we are, the legacy, we get, because we've been brought
Mm.
up that way, everything been, as a tradition, but sometimes we forget to discover who we are. So that was also very essential
Mm.
yesterday. That was my taken away. And today, I can't wait to know how to find my voice. So I'm looking forward for tonight again, Dr. Novella.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And again, this is a live discussion, so this is going to be more of a conversation or dialogue that we are having, and just an introduction to the Confessions of a Black Woman. The Confession of a Black Woman is a powerful testimony or a testament to the resilience and the strength of the beauty of a Black woman. This book offers intimate and unfiltered insights into your multifaceted experience, encouraging you, the woman, to reclaim yet your power, reclaim yet your narrative, and celebrate your heritage. In each chapter, you will find highlights that's important to your authenticity, your resilience, and you as a diverse woman, providing solace, inspiration, and empowerment. This book also serves as a guide towards self-discovery, healing, and unapologetic self-love, reminding you that your story matters and your voice deserves to be heard. And our chapter what we're going to talk about on tonight is finding my voice, overcoming fear, and speaking out. Finding my voice, overcoming fear, and speaking out. So as we embark on this 21-day journey, and some of you might have already been on a journey of self-discovery, a journey of cutting away at the debris or the fat of what has now held you down. And I said the fat of what stops or hinders or strips you or that's been weighing you down. So as you go through the journey of self-discovery and empowerment, you'll find that you will be confronting some things. You'll be confronting fear. You'll be confronting or dealing with some uncertainties. You will also find yourself finding yet your voice. Your activity might be higher. Your voice might change. Who you are is changing because you are learning who you are. And as you are seeking and tapping into other versions of you, you will find that you might be in a place of quietness or stillness or a place of silence, or you might be in a place as you're going through transition that doesn't make sense to you. So you're trying to make sense out of it, make perfect sense out of it. So as we dive into the challenges and the obstacles that stand in your way, there will be obstacles, there will be challenges. And the first thing we do and we say, it's the devil. But these obstacles and these challenges come for you to tap into your inner strength, know who you are. You'll be able to know and detect your fight. You know what you stand for and what you don't stand for. And you'll be able to learn different cuts, sides of you. Okay. You'll also be able to learn how to courage or encourage yourself, and you will learn yet your resilience. You'll know what you can overcome. Okay, as the challenges come yet your way, you'll learn that you're an overachiever, you're an overcomer, and what makes you tick. How you'll tap into your DNA. You'll also find or learn how you're wired. Okay, so finding your voice also comes with knowing who you are, learning who you are, and also confronting the things that comes to devalue you, confronting the things that comes to take away
Wow.
your power,
Yes.
confronting what comes to silence yet your voice, confronting what comes to suffocate you and render you powerless. Okay,
Yes.
and the word thing. So with this confronting, you'll find yourself confronting fear, confronting the uncertainty, and in fighting yet the fear, you'll find again this journey while you're confronting, you will go to tap into your discovery, learn, discover who you are. You will be able to empower yet yourself as you are facing these uncertainties. You'll also learn how to recognize social pressures, societal pressures, recognize societal pressures. We call them manipulation. Recognize societal pressures that attempt to silence your voice. Okay, that attempt to silence your voice. And in doing and going through your journey, you're going to realize as you're looking for the tools and the resources, as you are looking for the tools and the resources, you are your own antidote. I'm going to say it again. As you're going through the journey, matriculate who you are, empower who you are, and at the same time, build up, be like a tutelage to you and for you as resources to empower you. You're going to realize that you are your personal antidote. Okay. When you go through self reflection and you're gaining insight, you will explore ways in which fear manifests in your life, doubt manifests in your life. You will find areas or spaces where you held yourself back from expressing your truth. You held yourself back from
Mm-hmm.
expressing or moving into the fluidity or into the totality of who you are. You will find
Mm-hmm.
that there are some spaces where you should have stand up, but you buckled. You will find that there were some spaces that you allow doubt to override your belief system. Okay, you allow doubt to
Mm-hmm.
override your belief system. You will also learn those patterns and behaviors, and in doing so, now upon recognitions we call those recognitions or awakenings or aha moments. At that point, you then confront. At that point, you're standing. You will confront these eternalized messages.
Oh
You
yes.
will
Oh
confront these
yes.
eternalized
Yes.
message
Yes.
of doubt and
Mm-hmm.
insecurity. And here's the key word that whispers in your ear. I'm going to say it again. You will confront
Mm-hmm.
these internalized messages of doubt and insecurity that whisper in your ears, telling you that your voice don't matter. That your voice don't matter, and that your story and your
Mm-hmm.
narrative isn't important. It's not important. But in the midst of it all, learn to identify fear and find
Right.
courage. Learn to
Mm-hmm.
identify doubt and encourage yourself. And when you do so, you'll find that you will uncover the patterns, uncover them, uncover the strategies, uncover the tactics that came to strip you of your inner strength, that came to snuffle or silence your voice, that came so your voice will not be heard. Because this is how you do it. If I open my mouth, I don't know if they're going to hear me. If I open my mouth, I don't know if it will have value. If I open my mouth, I don't know if it will add or will it be important. You will uncover, okay,
Mm-hmm.
what's coming as a tactic to
Mm-hmm.
demolish you, to take you out, okay, to silence your voice. And in doing so, now you will demand to be heard. Why? Because you know that your
Mm-hmm.
voice is important. Okay, so
Yes.
as you share your stories, your testimonies, your triumph, your resilience, and what you overcame, your adversity, and now you're finding and tapping into the power within, you will now strengthen somebody else. You will now
Amen.
strengthen your community, strengthen
Amen.
the village. And in doing so, you will now help them to understand the challenges
Mm-hmm.
and the obstacles that came to snuff their voice, to silence their voice. Okay.
Yes.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
reminding you that you are your personal antidote. I'm saying it, I'm going to say it again because a lot of us are looking for help and assistance, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it could very well be, and could it very well be that you are the answer to your own
Mm-hmm.
solution.
Oh
You're the
yes.
answer to
Yes.
your own
Yes.
solution. You are the
Yes.
antidote. You are the antidote. Okay, to your
Mm-hmm.
own solution. Again,
Yes.
understand what's coming to understand the voices, the narrative, their story.
Mm-hmm.
They told you will not amount to, you will not do this, you weren't going to do that, you're not going to live, you're not going to make it. These eternal voices, these are
Right.
voices that came now that was from a family member now that echoed in your ear now has become one meshed with your voice, and now your
Mm-hmm.
voice is eternalizing now, echoing, overriding the voice of consciousness. And what is it
Mm-hmm.
doing? It's feeding insecurity. It's feeding insecurity.
Yes.
Okay, it's feeding
Mm-hmm. Yes.
insecurity. So as you are navigating, as we as women are navigating through the complexities of life, finding our voice, you finding
Mm-hmm.
your voice, you will discover your importance. You will discover how important you are through self-love. You will find
Yes.
how important you are through self-acceptance. You will find how
Mm-hmm.
important you are through self-compassion. You will learn, as I learn to embrace your imperfections. You will learn to celebrate. Here goes that word again. You will learn to celebrate your uniqueness, your own
Yes.
perspective, your own perspective. So you won't let the opinions of another override your own mental thought and
Right.
capacity. And now you will stand in the confidence in your truth. You will stand in the confidence of your truth. And it's through those process or processing through that journey, again, you will find your voice. You will tap into the frequency of your voice. You will find that your voice, my God, you will understand why you're hating. My God, I don't know why I'm going here. You
Mm.
will understand
Yeah.
why people find a problem with you, because your voice has an authority. Your voice changed
Yes.
the atmosphere.
Woo.
Your
Yes,
voice
sir.
changed the environment.
Yes.
Your voice is a frequency that changes things and
Mm.
pull things into its
Mm-hmm.
place. Your voice, though you are in position and you are postured, your voice is the authority making declaration. You are the legislator making
Mm-hmm.
legislation, and now things are manifested under the frequency of your voice. Now you
Wow.
understand why things are happening through obstacles to snuff away, silence your voice.
Wow.
Dr. Janine, do you have anything to add to this before
Yeah.
we
You
are
know what?
coming to our close? Mhm.
Especially while you were talking about like sometimes self doubt, and then we definitely listening to this voice that come to really say you will never amount to anything. I remember few backs like few years back when I was living in Vermont actually, and that actually reminds me because I had to silence those voices because there were certain people they just couldn't see what I was seeing in me. So they were telling and that was a teacher. She was a like a leadership like authority figure. She told me, Janine, you're doing too much advocacy, and I said, what's that mean? So
Mm,
I really silenced that because I didn't see that like that too. For me, I was a servant leader. And then another example, like you just,
mm,
while you were talking, that really came back to me. While I was in college, there was this professor. I think she just did not see what I saw in me. She said, "Well, Jean, I
yeah.
don't think that this is your level." And that was like it was really an advanced course. And because of the
Mm,
language, I guess she couldn't just really see what I was thinking in me. And she said, "Well, Janine, I don't think that you are college material." I was like, oh, okay.
mm,
So I had to silence that to me because I did not hear that. I did not receive that. So that's something we all
mm.
need to do. That as whatever somebody said that to you, something you have the power, you have the authority to receive it or to reject it. So I wanted just to add that. Yeah.
I thank you for I thank you for saying that, because there were interceptions of time where a
Mm.
voice or an influence voice or an authoritative figure and family member in school or on the job that
Mm-hmm.
came to literally break our soul into pieces. And now in our adult age, we're still trying to gather those pieces because they did
Right.
such a crush into our soul that it
Mm-hmm.
detached us from our identity, and to the point
Right.
where now we're folded up and crumbling up. And then here goes those invisible walls again because of that
Yes.
hurt, of that pain, that punk, that hurt. So when things happen over time,
Mm-hmm.
here comes the trigger that's puncturing that wound that is suppressed because that it
Yes.
happened in your childhood. And now even as
Mm-hmm.
an adult, that when you've been triggered, it takes you back into time. And so what happened
Yes.
is we will matriculate in our mind and we'll advance, but we will be under emotional arrested development because we are cultivating and we are maturing and we're reading the Bible, we're learning scripture, and we're growing spiritually, and we're doing what we can to articulate our mind, and we're advancing in the world. But when it comes to our emotional state, there's arrested
Mm.
development. So we could very well be in our 40s and still act like we're 15. We could very well be in
Mm.
our 50s and still act like we're 17, because we
Mm-hmm.
are stuck in a time in an era where our soul was crushed.
Mm.
So we pay
Wow.
attention to our spirit, and we pay attention to our heart, and we pay attention to our mind, but we neglect the
Yeah.
soul when the soul cries.
That is true.
The soul cries. And here it is now. And when someone so close to us, because of our vulnerability, and we get naked, come close to us, and they see the wound, and they speak
Mm.
about the wound, then again, here comes that invisible wall. Don't talk about it. And some of us have forgotten about it. We tucked it so deep within ourselves that we so forgot about it, to the point that when it's brought up, it's like, what are you talking about? And what it does again,
Yeah.
it brings back
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
era in time. But what we
Yes.
don't know is if we don't see healing, if we don't go to the steps of the process of healing, then we
Mm.
could go to the peak, get all the accolades, all the degrees. We could do everything that we can to level up. But when we get to that peak, we would not be able, and I think you said it best last night. Let's put it this way. When we go to those doors, those threats and doors, the anointing, the gift, the skill set will take you to those doors. But can you maintain and sustain, because you don't have the
Mm.
emotional capacity? You have
Yes.
the mentally know-how. You don't have the emotional. So anytime somebody says something, you get so defensive. They're
Mm.
talking about me. They're doing this. That's the emotional state that speaks loudly, that says you need healing. Why? We know how we say, why are you so touchy? Why are you
Yeah.
so? Because that emotional state
Yeah. Yeah.
mhm, needs healing.
Mm.
And so going back to, again, self-love, compassion,
Mm-hmm.
and appreciation. And we talked about this again last night. Honor yourself. Learn to honor
Oh, yeah.
who you
Yes,
are.
sir.
Learn to honor
Mm.
who you are and
Yes.
appreciate who you are. Because in doing so, when you learn to appreciate who you are, now you know who you are, you will spark conversation. You wouldn't dodge conversation, because
That's
you
right.
don't have the capacity, you don't have
Mm.
the vernacular to be able to equivocate and to be able to have an in-depth conversation. You will spark the conversation. You will
That's right.
ignite the movement. You will create a
Mm-hmm.
lasting change, because your voice is not silenced.
Mm.
So you have to be able to find your voice and overcome fear by speaking out. And in that, again, the role of self-love is very, very important.
Yes. And
Self-acceptance
and
is very important. Go ahead.
and Dr. Lovell, I think that's what's I mean, you and I definitely can agree on this. Like when you self-love yourself, like you love yourself, you you're not gonna shrink, like I really, diminish yourself,
Mm,
in front of authority figure, or somebody that you consider like as an authority figure, as a leader. You're not gonna shrink. You're definitely gonna value the person, or kind of like really appreciate, but you're not gonna shrink. But when you love yourself, right?
come on. Come on. Amen. That's powerful, powerful statement. You're not going to shrink. You're not going to stand down.
Mm-hmm.
Because you, again, you have value, and being
Yes.
mindful of the time, because you have value. I'm going to talk a little bit about the power of the voice and coming in closing, and then we'll
Mm.
do a couple of questions and recap.
Right.
So the power,
Mm-hmm.
the power of your voice, the power, or the in-depth power, comes from knowing what's within, knowing the essence of your being, and knowing the
Yes.
substance,
Mm-hmm.
substance, substance. Again, we could spend time when I said spiritual tutelage, spend time. Like I put it this way: in each space, it will be reciprocated to you. Spend time in the realm of spirituality, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
reciprocate. You spend time in academia, it's going to reciprocate. But when you spend time knowing the depths, the height, the depth, the breadth of you, it's going to
Yes.
reciprocate. So knowing and learning the power of your voice, your
Mm-hmm.
transformative power.
Right.
And when you know and learn your power, then you will raise voices and spark conversation. You will bring about a collective impact. So this
Yes.
right here, at this point, we're talking about influence. We're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
because you said keyword servant leader, or being a leader.
Yeah.
At this
Mm.
point, you're talking about not only creating a movement, but it's a collective impact in individual's life.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
A
Mm-hmm.
collective impact in the life of an individual. And now you're moving from the individual now into your community, and now you're creating a movement. Creating a movement. And the first thing, one of the tactics that comes to silence your voices, they're going to let you know you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
You're crazy and you don't know what you're talking about. That is to
Yeah.
instill fear.
Mm.
All that was
Mm.
a tactic to separate you or disconnect you from the creator.
Come on.
So
Yes.
acknowledge fear, learn the pattern and acknowledge, recognize it for what it is.
Mm.
I recognize it, I validate it. Where is this fear coming from? Where is this
Yes.
uncertainty coming from?
Mm.
Okay, assess it. Reflect an internal message. This is not my narrative. Where is this
Oh
narrative
yeah.
coming from? Who
Yes,
spoke
sir.
this to me? Who spoke
Mm.
this over my life? Who acted
Yes.
this into my soul?
Mm.
This
Yes.
sound and this verbiage of doubt and insecurity. You told me I
Mm-hmm.
would never be enough. No, now it has become my own. Detach yourself from that voice, that echo, and now
Right.
you be the voice of affirmation speaking over your life.
Yes.
You let your God
Mm.
conscience override the language of what
Yeah.
came to snuff you out, annihilate you.
I love that.
Build
This is
self
not my
compassion and self
narrative.
love.
I love it.
It's not your narrative.
Yes, it's not.
Build
Mm-mm.
self compassion and self love. Practice, practice, practice self compassion. We beat up on ourselves a lot. We talked about this. So, therefore,
Mm-hmm.
practice it. Cultivate love through affirmations daily, celebrating personal achievement. Some call it
Mm.
meditation, some do their meditative time, do scriptures. Cultivate self love through affirmation and celebrating personal achievements. Seek support
Yes.
in your community. We talked about this. Surround
Mm-hmm.
yourself with supportive individuals who encourage and uplift you. Join groups of community that share similar goals and experiences. Okay?
Mm.
Start. Go out of yourself, beyond yourself, and start small and build confidence. Start small and build confidence. Begin by expressing your voice. Begin by
Mm.
expressing your voice in safe
Yes.
and in supportive environments. Let your
Yes.
voice be heard. Let your
Mm.
voice be heard. Actively expand your comfort zone by taking
Yes.
on a more challenging situation.
Mm.
Because there are some people that don't understand. I can't stand to hear my voice. What is it about your voice that you can't stand? That's
Right.
self-loathing. What is it about it? Who, why, when? Who told you that? Where did that come from? That you don't like the sound of your voice? Go
Mm.
back. Let's go back. Let's face. No, I don't want. No, no, no. Let's go back. Where did you get that?
Yeah.
That's practicing self-loathing. You're self-rejecting yourself. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Embrace your vulnerability. Recognize your vulnerability as a strength. Recognize your vulnerability as a strength rather than a
Yes.
weakness. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
restoring your authenticity and build deeper connections. That's the thing. We have a lot of surface conversations, but not
Oh
enough
yeah.
deep or in-depth
Yes, sir.
conversations.
Mhm.
Not enough
Yes,
deep or
come on.
in-depth connections. So
Yes.
we have a surface.
Hmm.
And that's what frustrates high achieving or thought leaders. I'm not talking about servant leaders. I'm talking about thought leaders that they
Yes.
think deep. They're always thinking more
Mm-hmm.
beyond. That's what runs them crazy or suffocates them or frustrates them because there's not enough in-depth or deep conversation to thrive,
Yes.
to synergize.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, celebrate your victories. Acknowledge both small and large um, victories. Journey in
Right.
finding your voice. In finding
Mm-hmm.
your voice. Okay.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
I have a question before we. I have a. As I said, I'll do three questions. Did you want
Yes.
to say something before I do the three questions?
Yes, I know that yesterday you were talking about, like there's a different type of mask, and I think that would be very good if you can kind of, just give us briefly, the different type. I know we're gonna go into details on that, but that would be good if we can just recap that, from people who were not here yesterday. That would be great.
Okay. So let me
Mhm.
finish this one and then go back to. But
Right.
okay, Dr. Janine, they could watch video too. Day two. They could watch day two.
Yes, that's
They
true.
could watch
Yes.
day two. It's a journey.
And
But
second,
for you, I'll go back and get it.
okay, but
That's right.
very
Go
briefly,
put the book
very
is on
briefly.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask the question in regards to finding the voice, and I'll go back and get it. Okay.
Yes.
So I
Go
have
ahead.
like three questions for you. What are some of the common fears Black women face when trying to find and use their voice? Common fears include fear of judgment, rejection,
Mhm. Yes.
backlash, and being taken seriously. That's one of
Oh,
our
I see
biggest
that one. Yes.
feet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You're
That's
not
true.
taking me seriously. So these
Mm-hmm.
fears are often compounded by internalized messages of doubt and insecurity. How can one begin to challenge and overcome these fears? Start by acknowledging the fear and
Right.
reflecting on its sources. And I'll go back to saying the one of the what fear does, it also causes one to procrastinate. Procrastination comes from fear.
Oh wow.
And due to fear and insecurity, Then here it is, you're prolonging. I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. In reality, it's either, oh, it's too big, it's too this. You think it's bigger than you and it's overwhelming you. Procrastination is rooted in fear. Okay. So start by acknowledging fear and reflecting on its sources, practice self-compassion and build a supportive community. Gradually take steps to express yourself in a safe environment to build confidence. How can vulnerability be a source of strength in speaking out? Vulnerability fosters deeper connections and authenticity. It
Right.
demonstrates courage and can inspire others to also embrace and express
Mhm.
their true self. Okay.
Yes.
And one last one. What impact can individual voices have on society? What
That's a
impact
solid
can
one.
individual voices on society? Your voice can spark an important conversation. Your voice will challenge the status quo. Your voice will challenge societal norms. Your voice will inspire collective action. Your voice
That's right.
will start a movement. Your voice
Yes.
will be the
Yes.
facilitator of a movement. Your voice
Mm.
will shift a movement. Your voice will create lasting change by amplifying marginalized perspective. Your voice could bring change. Your voice matters.
That's
Find
right.
your
Mm.
voice.
Ooh.
Find your voice.
Yes.
And a quick recap.
Yes. Definitely
Confessions of a
share. Go
Black
for it,
woman
Dr. Lovella.
on a journey of overcoming fear and finding one's voice in society that often seeks to silence women's voices. It explores the challenges, internalized doubts, societal pressures that hinder self-expression, societal pressures that hinders self-expression. You are creative, you're highly intelligent, and you have yet to write that book. You are creative and you're highly intelligent. You have yet to do that play. You have yet to do
That's
that
right.
broadcast. You have yet,
Mm.
come on,
Yes.
societal pressures that hinder self
Yes.
expression. You have, my God, a movement and a tour. Your voice matters. Through personal,
Mm.
you are the personal antidote. Through personal antidotes and reflections, what comes, you will be the highlight. You will be the
That's right.
encourager. You
Yes.
and through your resilience, will speak
Mm.
out, helping others to know that their voice is important. Your voice will
Yes.
demonstrate self-love. Your voice will
Yes.
demonstrate self-acceptance and self-compassion. Your voice is powerful, sparking conversations. The conversations will open door, sparking and igniting movements and creating lasting change and creating lasting relationships. Dr. Janine,
Yes.
will I get
Woo.
your
Your voice.
mask?
My goodness. Yes, yes, yes. You have heard from Dr. Novella. This is just a small nugget. This is what you're getting in the book, ladies and gentlemen. Please purchase your book so you can follow with us because this is just a small nugget that she's giving to us during these 21 days. So we really want you to purchase the book. Again, we have the link. If you can find the link, please ask me. I will definitely send it to you. But definitely purchase the book and read the book because this is really something that's going to help you to find your voice. So tonight, definitely, Dr. Lovella, she is giving us the recap and make sure that you watch the replay from the day one or day two if you haven't watched that, so you can be able to catch up with us today, which is day three. So make sure you really follow us on Umoja Global Network as we wrap up right now because we would love for you to have your feedback. If you have any questions for Dr. Lovella, please also go to her social media so you can be able to show some support and purchase the book as well. So we will see you again tomorrow at the same time. 7 p.m. So you can be able to continue with us on this journey. Find your voice. Dr. Lovella, any last words?
Yes, and thank you so much for that. At the end of the 21 days journey, on the 22nd day, we are launching the Bolder Voices movement for women. I'm excited
Yes.
about that. And on that day,
Mm-hmm.
for those that have been with us and have been hanging with us on that day, we are going to celebrate. We're going to have that Zoom call. We'll be able to talk, ask questions, dig a little bit deeper in regards to that.
Mm-hmm.
And the launching event will be in Dallas. I'm so looking forward to it. So you will find on Facebook where you will see a little flyer floating around says Bolder Voices. And it is for
Mm-hmm.
women to come together, gather together, not only to find your voice, but to tap into the power within the voice as we come as
Yeah.
one, igniting a community, uniting a nation and people. So I'm excited
Mm-hmm.
about that. And again, purchase the book on the paper copy on Amazon. It's called The Confessions of a Black Woman on Amazon. And also, we do have the 2 for 1, which
Yes.
is the my Black Her Story and the Confessions of a Black Woman. You get it for $8.99 ebook, immediate download. So once you purchase it, it's immediate download. And thank you so much for joining us. Again, this is just day 3 of day 21, and we are building up momentum and we are getting more intense. Thank you for allowing me to be able to go into the crevices of your heart, crevices of your mind, and or your soul, to be able to draw, pull out yet what has been hidden, what has been tucked away, what has been suppressed, as you are now tapping into the woman or the version that you are becoming, that powerful woman. So thank you so much for allowing us to do this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Merci encore beaucoup, la famille Umoja Global Network. On va encore se revoir demain à 19h. Donc, ça sera le 4e jour, oui, oui, qu'on continue avec le livre La confession d'une femme noire. Donc, ça, c'est vraiment quelque chose que j'aimerais que vous puissiez prendre le temps aussi. Si vous n'étiez pas avec nous le premier jour, le 2e jour, aujourd'hui, c'est le 3e jour. Donc, n'oubliez pas de regarder ces vidéos-là, afin que vous puissiez comprendre très bien les sujets qu'on est en train de partager avec tout le monde. So, merci beaucoup encore et on se voit demain. Donc, partagez ce lien et aussi invitez les autres aussi. Merci, que le Seigneur vous bénisse et à demain. Thank you guys, and we will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Purchase the book, and there's also a word book that is coming, so make sure that you stay tuned for that as well. Thank you again, Dr. Lovella.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.